Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Davin James. Glad to be here with all of you guys here today. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. If you guys don't mind, please remember to like, subscribe and comment. Helps a bunch, really shows your support, and it helps me along the way into my YouTube journey. Now today, I got an exciting video game topic for you guys. At least I think it's exciting anyway, I could be wrong. But with that being said, let's get on with today's episode, shall we? Okay, so last Friday, it was announced after some leaks had came out that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered will be coming out for PS5 in January 2024. And those who already own The Last of Us Part 2 on PS4 can upgrade for PS5 for just $10, which is a nice little upgrade for you if you're into that sort of thing. So for those who don't know anything about The Last of Us franchise, this video game franchise is a Sony PlayStation exclusive franchise. It's been around for a long time now. It started on PS3, got remastered for like PS4, Part 1 this is, and now obviously it's been released for PS5, and now Part 2 is also getting a remastered treatment, where that started on PS4, came out back in 2020, and now it's coming out in 2024 for PS5. So the video game franchise takes place in a post-apocalyptic, easy for me to say, world. And the story follows this guy named Joe, who's a smuggler. And his job is to smuggle this teenager named Ellie across the country in the United States. Because Ellie is basically precious cargo in this story, in the video game and the TV series, which was on like HBO Max in the United States. Ellie is the key to saving humanity, basically. She's the key to wiping away this virus, if you will, saving a lot of people's lives. That's a brief rundown on the story. I don't want to give too much away because I really want you guys, if you've not got any experience with this franchise at all, then please, if you have a PlayStation, go out and play the games. If you rather watch gameplay of it on YouTube, do that, although I don't think you will get the same experience as just playing it yourself, but that's my opinion. Or go and support the HBO Max series, because that's a fantastic series as well. And personally, without overthinking it, there's not much difference between the series and the game itself, the game franchise. The first season of HBO Max's Last of Us focuses on part 1 of the game, and now part 2, when it eventually comes out, will focus on part 2 of the game. Fantastic casting on the game. You got fantastic casting on the series. You got Pedro Pascal, and then you got Bella Ramsey, who was someone I wasn't really familiar with at the beginning, and I wasn't really sure about her performance as Ellie to begin with. But once I seen the trailers and I seen the series, I was blown away. I thought she was fantastic. Pedro Pascal was fantastic. And I was like, because if you play the video game, you know that the casting choices for the video game for Joe and Ellie were phenomenal. They are beloved casting choices. And the actors are beloved for playing these characters. They have such a deep emotional connection in a lot of people's hearts. So to find someone who's not going to be playing these characters in your HBO Max series, or your TV series in general, was very difficult in my opinion. But they've done a really good job. So yeah, do what you gotta do, watch the series, play the games, just experience this game, just experience this franchise in whatever sort of way that you possibly can. So Naughty Dog confirmed that the Last of Us Part 2 Remaster comes to PS5 on January 19th, on the 19th of January. And some of the features will be no return roguelike mode, lost levels with developer commentary, guitar free play, graphical enhancements, DualSense integration, and more. It does go into more detail down the bottom of the article, which I'll get to in a moment, about some of these new features that they've added into the game. So don't worry if you're like very confused right now. So notably, those who already own The Last of Us Part 2 on PS4 will be able to upgrade to a digital version of The Last of Us Part 2 for PS5 for just $10. Save files will also be available to be imported into Part 2 Remastered. However, Naughty Dog clarified that upgrades for disc copies of the PS4 version are only available if you have a PS5 with a disc drive. Owners of the PS4 disc copies must insert them into the PS5 every time they want to play or download the digital version, Naughty Dog says in a blog post. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I've got Part 1 remastered on PS5. I've got Part 2, the PS4 version, in my house, so I'm not really looking to upgrade it. There might be some cool enhancements, absolutely, but I'm not too sure if I really want to. Like, don't get me wrong, to spend £10 on a digital version of a remastered version of a game is fantastic. That's good money. But I don't know if that really is, if that's something I really want right now. But, you know, that's just my own thing. I don't mind the fact that they're doing this. A lot of people in the fan base will probably be a bit mad that they're doing this, because they feel it'll be like a cash grab, just a cheap way to sell more copies of the game. But yeah, no one's forcing you to buy it, so don't worry too much about what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's their job to worry about that sort of thing, not your job. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you want to play it, play it. If you don't, then just keep the original versions or whatever it is you like. There's also no mention of a PC version of the remaster. The Network previously leaked the remaster, which features a brand new roguelike survival mode, as well as a bevy of gameplay enhancements. It will feature a new roguelike survival mode, which is called No Return. Dun dun dun! In this mode, players can choose their own path through a series of randomized encounters with different enemies and locations throughout the story. Players must fight and survive for as long as they can to reach bosses. That's actually sounds fun. There will be unlockable characters in No Return, some of which were never playable in the franchise, and possesses unique gameplay traits. I wonder if Joe's brother Tommy would be a character you could play in this game. I don't think we played as him in the second game, or the first one for that matter, even if it was just briefly. I'm not really sure if we have or not. But either way, that'll be really fun, playing as new characters. I'm not trying to think of some of the new characters they introduced in the game, how many there were, and how many would actually be playable. A fantastic poster, Ellie, I mean, she looks phenomenal, as always, just a badass. And this is Abby, who's the arch rival in this game for both Joe and Ellie. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then I don't go into too much detail. I'm not going to go into any detail for that matter. But a really cool looking poster. I remember seeing a photo, like a side-by-side comparison on Twitter on the weekend. One was for the PS5, and one was for the PS4, one was for the PS5. I was looking at it because it's a photo of Ellie. Like, other than some lighting differences, like, that's all I can really see in terms of differences. Because in my opinion, I'm sure a lot of people probably agree with this, Part 2 is a really beautiful looking game. They might have some issues with the gameplay and the story structure of the game, but the graphics wise, the game was phenomenal. It's beautiful. You couldn't hope for a better game. It's just visually stunning. Like, this was something that you would probably, like, because you have a photo mode on PlayStation, you would probably have used that mode a lot just to take random photos of the game, because the game was so beautiful. Again, that's my opinion anyway. There is a new speedrun mode for players to try and best each other's times in, and then a new feature called Guitar Free Play, where players can unlock instruments. There will also be new unlockable character and weapon skins for both Ellie and Abby, as well as some behind the scenes features too. Lost levels, for example, lets players explore early development versions of the 3 new levels not seen in the original PS4 game. Oh, cool. So it's kind of like a peek behind the scenes, if you will. The remaster will output 4K in fidelity modes and have faster loading times, as well as a 4 DualSense integration, and you can read the 4 listing below and see Naughty Dog's 4. So, native PS5 enhancements. Built for the PS5 console, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered enhances the original PS4 game in ways not possible before, including a host of graphical improvements, bring the beautiful yet dangerous world to life, visual performance now outputs at 4K in fidelity modes, improves loading times, more quickly let you jump into action, 4 dense wireless control integration. Not really sure what that means as such, but okay. No return, a roguelike survival mode. Experience The Last of Us Part 2 steep combat via an entirely new mode. Survive as long as you can in each run as you choose your path through a series of randomized encounters. Play as a host of different unlockable characters, some never before playable in the Last of Us franchise. Locations from throughout Part 2, or accumulate in intense boss battles. Deeper into this beloved adventure and learn how the original game was created. Lost levels let you explore early development versions of the 3 levels not seen in the original. Early hours of new developer commentary to hear insights into Part 2's development as you experience the game. I think that's kind of cool because you don't really get that often. It's kind of like a DVD movie commentary where like the director or the writer or the producer or whatever it may be will be giving you commentary as you're watching the film or TV show, whatever it may be. So I think that's kind of cool to have that inserted into a video game. I wish more video games would kind of have that. I'm not saying necessary, but it's a nice little insight, especially if you're interested in game development in whatever sort of way. If you want to learn more about video games, how they're created and how they're structured and whatnot. So I think that's a cool feature to have. Live up to your musical potential with Guitar Free Play, which includes new unlockable instruments, or take on the new speed run road, and post your best times. Duplicative audio and speech to vibrations have also been added to Part 2's suite of accessibility features. So there's a lot of information on that website, IGN, which I hope you guys enjoyed. For me, that's a lot more than I realised there was. I only read it a little bit to get an idea. I was like, okay, what are you talking about in this article? And do I understand most of it? Because I'm not huge, when it comes to the tech stuff or the video game terms, I'm not big on knowledge in that sort of front. So a lot of times my head's kind of like, what does that mean? Explain that to me. I'm very slow, so explain that slowly as well. But I know a lot of people were expecting news for a part 3 of The Last of Us, because we're still waiting on that. That's going to come eventually, no doubt. Whether or not that happens anytime soon is another story. I'm personally happy for people to experience The Last of Us again. I'm really jealous of those who got to experience The Last of Us for the very first time, whether it be through the PlayStation games or through the TV series itself, especially for the TV series, because a lot of people are not gamers who watch the series, so they experience it from a brand new perspective, open eyes, not knowing any sort of the lore, not knowing any of the characters, what comes next, what this certain dialogue means, anything like that. They're going in brand new, fresh. If any of you have any sort of thoughts on this, whether you're excited for the PS5 exclusive remastered version of The Last of Us Part 2, whether you're not a fan of it, whether you wish they just stuck with the original PS4 version instead, if you're excited for a potential Last of Us 3, if you're excited for Season 2 of The Last of Us TV series, whatever it is you have to say on this matter or on this subject, let me know your thoughts. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.